Okay, this is the first of the half-done projects that I'm going to be making in my decluttered, organized shop. So what I've already done here is I got a little pattern here, and I have a frog. It's going to be a frog birdhouse, and I cut out two. I had this board right here. Just so happen to have it. We're always using what we have, repurposing, and so I cut those out, and I cut this out because it's got to have a door. You always got to have a clean out station on a birdhouse, or it can get pretty yucky in there. It's, I don't know if I'll use it. Okay, so I cut that already. And I also located some little hinges here that I think will be perfect. They won't be too, they might even actually work as the eyes, kind of. Okay, so we got those ready for the little door, and then I was going to put this magnetic latch underneath where it's not seen. That'll try that. That's a heavy duty one there. Okay. So we'll do that on the back for the door, and then I already painted this side green because it was just not a good color, but we're not painting anything on the inside because birds don't really like any kind of paint. They're going to have to deal with this. Okay, and then what else I've got in the box here is some of these louver for a louver door, for the wooden doors, and it was all rotted up, but I saved all these. I have a ton. Here's all the rest of them. These are the doors. There was like 6 or 8 of them, and I dismantled all of them and lined up the different sizes with each other. And then I took them in the house to dry because they were wet. It's a lot. It was like 6 doors. Okay, and as I was going through my stuff, I happened to find these, and I don't remember why I cut them down, but they happen to be here because we're going to need those. We're going to put them, that's what's going to hook these fronts together, and then this board is going to be for the bottom part. So anyway, that's what I've got started with. First thing we're going to do is hook these onto these. Okay, I'll show you when I get that started. Looks like I have a friend. Ooh, I do not like the looks of him though. Shall I squish him? And put him outside. What do you think? What should I do? Okay, so I cut that board down to how wide we want it here, and I wood glued it and stapled it front and back. So now we got to figure out how long of these, and I'm going to put these all the way around the edge. So I'm going to mark that. Put that right there to the end. We'll do it down here. Okay, right to there. Let's see what that measures. Let's measure. Okay, we want a bunch that are 6 3/8. And see, look, you got to place your staples better than me. Always got to do something like that. But anyway, we'll let that dry nice. I'll get a bunch of these cut at 6 3/8. Okay, we've determined the length we need of these, so I've cut a few. I'm going to cut some more, and I'm gluing and stapling these on. We're going to go all around the entire frog. Okay. So I'll go cut some and be back. Okay, that looks pretty good. I just nailed them all in with some of these old rusty nails, tacks actually. That's a good latch there. Try this. Darn, pulled my whole door off. I knew I should have did that first. Oh well, let's keep doing it. Tore the whole hinge off, but there's our hole for the bird. I think that's a 1.5 inches or 1.25 maybe. Okay, so I added this little hook to hang it with, and then I'll open the door and I'll put a screw in there. But I forgot one thing, that it's not waterproof on top, and it might rain and get the nest wet if any birds inhabit it. So I got a tube of silicone out that had already been opened and got the end part functioning. So now I'm siliconing every little thing. I really didn't want to add a bunch of shiny stuff, but it's for the birds. Literally, I'm not a good caulker, so we're just going to let go of every one of these. And do. Okay, then I just kind of excess off. Try not to smear it all over, which I'm not doing very well. Okay, now it won't leak on the birds. Okay, it's done. Look how pretty. So inside we have the fletching marks here. I didn't talk too much about. It's all waterproofed, heavy duty latch, no paint on the inside, little on the outside, mounting bracket. And now we're ready to sign it. Okay, see, we have to heat up the iron. We're about on this big propane flame bowl. So it takes about 2 minutes. I think it's ready. We need the stove. Like that. Okay, the frog birdhouse is officially done. Stamped. Just has to be delivered. And so why I made this birdhouse into a frog is because I made this for a friend who likes frogs. And this is louver doors of theirs that they took down, and they didn't need the doors anymore and built a fence, so they gave them to me. And also her and her husband's fence I took down is the wood on the back of my shop wall, which I totally love. And when I took it down, she said, "What are you going to use that for?" And I said, "Probably make birdhouses or something." Okay, so I've made a few things: planter boxes, birdhouses, this. See ya. Say bye to my nephew, he's going to work. But anyway, because she's a friend, and one time I was doing something nice, and she's like, "Why do you do nice things for me?" And I'm like, "Because you're always doing nice things for me." And she's like, "I never do anything for you, and that's wrong." She helped me once when my sister came to visit and walked clear up the ocean and ran out of cell phone service, and I didn't know where to go to pick her up. We didn't have any plans, so she went to their house. And the other time when I was taking care of my mother, they helped her get her in their van and took her to church because she couldn't get in my big truck. And just it's those little things. There's more, there's lots. Okay, so that's what a friend does for each other. So that's why I'm gonna give this to her, and I hope she loves it. Thanks for watching, you guys.